Aquarius Sun and Moon, and welcome to your 2022 yearly reading. Today we're going to break down your 2022 and see what it has in store for you. This is a reading I did for myself on my birthday to get an idea of what the year ahead looks like for me and get those like big picture themes and like those overall ideas for how the year would break down. So how this reading will work is we'll get an Archetypes card to get that big overarching theme like I was saying, to see what the year will look like as a whole, and then we'll break it down into the 4 quarters, get a tarot card for each of the quarters, and then get an animal spirit card to clarify that tarot card. I also call this reading the Wild Unknown reading, or the Kim Krans reading, because all 3 of these decks come from her, Kim Krans. So some of my favorite cards here, and gives really good readings. So let us get started with our Archetypes card here. Okay, so Archetypes deck, please give me the theme for Aquarius for 2022. The theme for Aquarius for 2022, please. Oh. These cards are quite big, and I feel like I've gotten it's gotten a little easier to handle them as I've been doing all these Zodiac readings. They're still a little wily, but a little bit easier now. Okay, cool. The seed. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, so Aquarius here, obviously we have planted something. We have this little bit of potential here and this little tiny seed here that we are trying to grow, that we are watering, we are putting out so the seed can find the sunlight, that we're giving the nutrients to, and hoping something will germinate from the seed, right? So lots of potential here, very similar to like the womb and the mother, right? That potential for growth. So for you, Aquarius, for this year, for 2021, it definitely feels like we were planting, we were sowing our fields, right? Getting our fields ready to start this planting process, right? So the potential is astronomical in the seed, right? So depending on the kind of seed we get, that could be a giant tree. For example, like the redwood trees, their seeds are quite small by comparison to how massive the tree is, right? So lots of growth and potential. The entire potential of whatever you're sprouting, whatever is growing, is in this tiny seed here. So there is that push for there's a new beginning here in your life. You're maybe starting a whole new process. You've gone through this big death and rebirth process. I mention it because there's a lot of other Zodiac readings in various stages of that same kind of experience. So you have finished a big point in your life for a death, and now you're into this regrowth point, right? So you've cleared the fields, taken the ashes from what's burned away in your life, put that back into the soil and planted these seeds, and you're waiting to see what sprouts and germinates into your life, and with this new beginning, new potential, reawakening, something new coming into your life, right? The beautiful thing about seeds is that they wait for the right time to sprout. They wait for the right time to grow. Some seeds will stay dormant for years and years and years and years until the right environment comes around. They end up in the right environment to finally start sprouting, right? Some seeds need bare ground, some need disturbed areas, some need lots of attention and growth and very detail and fine things in order to sprout. Some need those harsh conditions. It varies highly, right? I know with being a natural resource major, a lot of the pine trees and other trees need fire to go through in order for the seeds to be released from the cones and land on bare ground that was cleared by the fire in order to sprout, right? So again, that death process, that rebirth process happening for the seed, our big theme here. So you've made the right conditions for hopefully the seed to sprout, for it to get into the ground and start sprouting and germinating and growing new things in your life. So let's see what happens through your year here in 2022, Aquarius. So we'll start with our tarot, get our first card here, and then we'll clarify. So, Wild Unknown Tarot, please give me the first quarter card for Aquarius for 2022. First quarter, Yep, that is one. That landed like that, so like this. Okay, 7 of Cups upright. Now we'll get our clarifying card from the Animal Spirit deck. Animal Spirit deck, please give me the clarifying card for the Seven of Cups for Aquarius for 2022, our first quarter. Please clarify the Seven of Cups, please. Thank you. The Sea Serpent. Ooh, you got a Spirit card. Okay, so really quick here, Aquarius, oh, look, I just noticed, look at this circle imagery here, right? Our seeds here, and we got that circle kind of seed here in the Sea Serpent as well. Lots of good matching energy here. Very cool to see. But what I was going to say here, Aquarius, is our Sea Serpent is one of the spirit cards in the Animal Spirit deck. So for the most part, the Animal Spirit deck is broken up into the 4 elements, our fire, earth, water, and air. However, there's 7 or so cards that are these spirit cards that have the circle on the top that represent one of the chakras in the body and have deeper spiritual meaning. And then you have that one coming out here in the Sea Serpent. Okay, so 7 of Cups clarified by the Sea Serpent. Let's see what we have. So Aquarius, it's very interesting here that the Sea Serpent came out for you, right? So our Sea Serpent, our clarifying card for our 7 of Cups, it represents the 2nd chakra, which is our sacral chakra, which is also the place of creation, that womb energy, the reproductive parts in the masculine and feminine that bring about that creation, that life, right? Coming back to your seed energy here for your theme. So again, we got some very similar matching imagery for our circles and seed here for both cards and the Sea Serpent and the seed. Where our 7 of Cups comes in, clarified by the Sea Serpent, is there's, in the beginning of our year here for your January, February, March of 2022, there's definitely some confusion for what's going on, right? So you've been putting in some work. You're at this beginning, this rebirth process. So there's definitely some confusion that comes into that, and a little bit of like illusion and deception tied in with that, right? So we've got all these different cups, normally in the original Ride-Away imagery, filled with different things. So there's a lack of focus here. Some illusions, trying to take on too much, so like an overindulgence, because there's like too many things at once going on, right? So there is, and with our Sea Serpent, if for some of the positive and negative, the shadow and light side it has, right? That confusion can be mirrored here if we aren't careful, if we aren't in our loving, creative, joyful energy. That confusion can happen really easy in the Sea Serpent card here as well. Because the Sea Serpent talks about areas of our lives where there's like too much energy and then not enough energy if we aren't in a clear Sea Serpent energy here. So what this tells me too for your 7 of Cups is that this is a highly spiritual process for you in your beginning of 2021. Because the spirit cards, they're rare in the deck in the first place, and then they talk about so many deeper spiritual challenges. So that shows to me that this confusion process you're in, this trying to find your path, trying to find your right way, trying not to deceive yourself, trying to figure out what's going on is from a deeper spiritual perspective is something that's happening to you as well, right? So asking you to make sure that you are nurturing and taking care of yourself, right? Going back to that nurturing of the seed on that mother's womb, taking care of yourself, to not be trapped in this confusion as much or anymore. Really making sure that you are in your emotions, knowing what's going on, because there's a lot of water energy here too as well, right? We see all this blue, plus being a Sea Serpent. It's representative of the sacral chakra, which is that fire kind of creative energy. But fire and water are both can be very powerful forces in our lives. So that water energy, again, mirrored for the fact that we have the cups here as well. The cups are our emotions, talking about, and that water elements coming in as well there. So lots of water energy, but confusion for all that water energy, for our emotions and kind of what's going on in our lives. But it's a highly spiritual process at the same time with our spirit Sea Serpent card coming out here. But let us see how this progresses into our second quarter here. Okay, Unknown Tarot, please give me the second quarter card for Aquarius for 2022. Almost. Second quarter card for Aquarius for 2022. oh. Let's try that again. One card, please. One card, please. Okay, clear out a bit. One card, please, for Aquarius second quarter of 2022. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Can I get clarification, please, on the Four of Pentacles in reverse for Aquarius for their second quarter of 2022? One card, please. Clarification on Four of Pentacles in reverse. Thank you, the cheetah. Okay. So we got some fire energy from the cheetah here. Aquarius here for your second quarter of 2022. April, May, June here. You're trying to rebalance yourself, reconfigure, get your feet back firmly on the ground here, right? So our cheetah, it's a very fiery energy, fire elements up at the top here. Also continuing on that sacral chakra energy from your first quarter here, moving through. But what the cheetah is clarifying for your Four Pentacles in reverse here is reconnecting to your purpose, reconnecting to your why you planted this seed in the first place, right? Why you did all the work to clear out, clear the field, make sure all the weeds were gone, make sure all the dirt was tilled so you can plant these seeds, right? Why you did that in the first place, asking you to really look at that purpose, reconnect to that purpose you have. So that way you can build a solid foundation, solid ground. We don't have it yet because this Four of Pentacles is here in reverse. And with our Four of Pentacles being here in reverse, that shows that, again, that lack of foundation, being on shaky grounds, kind of on thin ice, trying to figure it out at the same time. Usually when this card is in the upright, there's a lot of possessiveness over the situation, not wanting to move forward, right? So you don't quite have that going on, which is good to see, but we're not quite ready to run forward in this cheetah energy yet. We need to be clear on our purpose, on our foundation, be solid in that first before we start running forward in this cheetah energy and use this fire energy, the sacral creative energy we have with the seed and with our sea serpent as it moves forward into the rest of the year here, okay? So keep that in mind. So you do always have free will in any of your in all situations here, right? You have free will for how you respond to things, how you interact with others, how you connect with others. So you can keep that in mind as you're getting into your year here, looking at it ahead of time to kind of know what to expect a little bit. Again, this is just a reading currently in the time frame that we are looking at the time I'm reading it. This is the energy I'm seeing, but you have choice and free will for how you respond to this energy and how it ends up progressing through your year, okay? So let us dive into our third quarter here and see what we've got next. Okay. Wild Unknown Tarot, please give me the third quarter card for Aquarius for 2022. Thank you. Oh, nope. Try again, please. That was two. Just one card, please. One card for Aquarius for the third quarter. There we go. Thank you. Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, and clarification, please, on the Four of Cups in reverse for Aquarius' third quarter of 2022. Crow. Okay. So Aquarius here in your third quarter of 2022, we have the Four of Cups in reverse clarified by the Crow. So our Crow energy asks us to have a vision and insight and foresight, and look back at our past, be present in our future, or present in our present, and look into the future, aware of all these energies, aware of what's going on around us, in order to help bring clarification to this Four of Pentacles situation. Because there's something here in your emotional sphere, it seems like, that you are avoiding, that you don't want to acknowledge and look at. Our crow energy also comes in here to help you bring more awareness to your situation. The crow sees all. You think of the corvid species, right? The ravens and the crows. You think of the three-eyed raven from Game of Thrones, right? That sees the past, present, future. So there's a knowing there, and that's clarifying your Four of Cups here in reverse, because you need to look deeper into the situation. Again, your situation here is highly spiritual, right? We got that early on in your first quarter with our sea serpent here, where what you're dealing with is a very highly spiritual matter, a cycle that you're trying to break, maybe some deeper karma here. But as you're moving into the third quarter here, again, pending free will and different choices going on, you're trying to avoid the situation here. You're trying to avoid what you see and what you know, and the crow's not going to let you. The crow's going to show you everything, show you what you're not seeing, what you don't know, so you can actually finally build this awareness up and get out of the situation here, finally move forward in it and stop deceiving yourself, right? So there's been a lot of confusion that looks like it's continued through your year here from the beginning of the year. The Seven of Cups, this self-deception here, another meaning for the Seven of Cups, that's working its way through here. So again, Four of Pentacles, not wanting to move on in the situation, and same thing with the Four of Cups, just in a little bit of a different context for the emotions being too difficult to handle, maybe, for actually moving forward and progressing through the situation, so you choose not to look at them instead. However, the crow's not going to let you do that, right? The crow's calling again for you to build up the awareness that the cheetah wanted you to have. The cheetah energy, making sure you're figuring out your life purpose, that bigger purpose in your life, so you can run forward in it, right? So the crow's helping you look at that situation. So it's like, okay, we're deceiving ourselves. We don't know what's going on, but this is a highly spiritual matter. We are struggling to move forward. We don't want to move forward. It's scary and kind of difficult, right? We're trying to find firm ground to walk on, trying to figure out how to move forward, because we're trying to figure out that calling, right? So the crow comes in to help bring us more insight, more deeper psychic energy, so we can look at the situation more clearly and actually like progress, right? So it's like, okay, those so cheetah not wanting to move forward, or trying to figure out how to move forward, still not wanting to, still being scared to do so because we don't have our solid foundation here with the Four of Pentacles, it being in reverse. So crow comes in to help clarify the situation, bring more knowledge in, show you that past, present, future, because we are in a new state here, right? So new cycle, a new beginning with our seed energy, sea serpent energy coming full circle, right? That sea serpent, yep, biting its tail, that representation of infinity and that constant movement, that constant life moving forward, right? So you put in all this work to, again, clear out that field, till it out, so that way the seed could grow, but you're getting stuck, right? For maybe the seeds is not sprouting yet. It was supposed to sprout in 3 weeks after you planted it, right? And it's been 3.5, and you're like, okay, where is it? What's going on? Why hasn't the effort I put in to the situation, why isn't it panning out yet, right? So you're questioning a lot and not wanting to move forward and figure it out. So let us see how this finishes out here for our last quarter of 2022, Aquarius. Okay. Last quarter energy of 2022 for Aquarius, please. Last quarter of 2022. So something I just want to mention here as I'm shuffling the cards, right? So the cards seem confused like you are in this situation. They're flipping out weird, not wanting, not wanting to flip. It's been difficult to get the cards to think clearly, right? So Three of Swords. Not my favorite card to come out for you, Aquarius, but let's see how it is clarified by our Animal Spirit deck here. Clarification on Three of Swords, please. Nightingale. Easy, thank you. Okay. Okay, Aquarius. So everything comes to a crux finally. Everything comes to a head here in your last quarter of 2022. Because the thing we've been avoiding here earlier on in the year, giving confusion, avoidance, right, comes to a head and shows up here finally in your last quarter of 2022. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Three of Swords, not a pleasant card, right? It's a very painful looking card, and it is painful. That is turmoil, that is betrayal, that is loss. And with the nightingale coming in here, right, it is calling you to the fact that you have this in your life, calling you to the fact that this situation has happened to you, and there is still hurt and pain and things you need to heal, right? This is what it looks like we've been avoiding through, right? We've been avoiding as we've been working through 2022 here, right? So we finally comes to a head here where it's like, hey, what do you need to sing about, right? The nightingale is a very unassuming looking bird, but sings beautiful, beautiful songs, and has that voice that it wants to speak about and heal with, right? Heal through that music, heal through that song. Because we have all this pain here, right? We're all these swords trapped up together, clinging against each other with all this red thread and bleeding. It's usually in the original Rider-Waite imagery stabbing into a heart. So we see that like blood dripping down, right? That pain, that betrayal, that hurt. And I get it. I get it for why we were trying to avoid it, right? So that confusion for it maybe showing back up in our lives earlier on in the year. Confusion and why we are lying to ourselves. We're like, hey, nope, I'm fine. I healed from that. Doesn't matter, right? But again, it showed up. We're trying to find ourselves, grow this seed here, right? But there's something that's been blocking us with our Four Pentacles in reverse, our Four of Cups in reverse. The Crow finally showing up here to be like, hey, no, this is what's wrong. This came out of our past. This is affecting our present and the here and now, and then it will continue to affect your future, right? So the Crow showing up with this knowledge here, hey, this is what's wrong. This is what's hurting us. This is what's wrong, and you need to talk about it. You need to sing about it. You need to heal from it. You need to do whatever creative, again, coming back into the sacral energy here, whatever creative element, art, singing, composing, whatever, something creative, joyful in your life in order to help get this pain out, right? The pain, you don't want it to live inside you. There's something I actually posted very recently on my Instagram that was talking about getting this pain out from inside of you by painting or writing or journaling. So the pain lives somewhere outside of yourself and you can start healing from it, right? Taking one of these swords out of your heart. So that way that wound can stop bleeding, stop hurting, and can actually start healing, right? And the nightingale, another bird energy, air card here, telling us it's like, hey, no, this is what's going on with me. This is what's hurt me in this situation. This is why I've been acting the way I am. This is what I need to say so I can help myself heal here, okay? So Crow definitely bringing that energy in and showing us here, right? But the advantage you have to free will here, Aquarius, is that you can do this process sooner rather than later, right? You know ahead of time from this reading that what you potentially are avoiding, you can realize it a lot sooner and get through this year and completely transform the end of your year here, right? So if you figure out what your purpose is, what you are confused about early on, and what still needs healing in your life, reattaching to this purpose, you can avoid the whole rest of the year here. You can change up all this energy here, and maybe this is why the seed hasn't sprouted yet, right? Because you're watering it with the wrong thing. You're watering the seed with the wrong energy, because ultimately you are coming from a place of hurt, right? A place of hurt and betrayal and turmoil with our Three of Swords energy here. And we don't want to water our field with blood in this case, okay? Very intense imagery for sure. But that's kind of that energy here, right? You're wondering why the seed hasn't sprouted over here. And your big theme for the year is because you're working through this healing process for whatever this Three of Swords energy is. So you can do it a lot sooner if you come in like this first half of your year here, if you recognize it earlier on and work through your healing and take these swords out of your heart sooner rather than later, you can transform your rest of your year, and maybe actually the seed will end up sprouting, okay? So, something to keep in mind here. I don't know what your situation is for what's hurting you. I'm very sorry to hear it. I'm sorry for that you're going through that pain, whatever it may be. But you do have options available to you, ways to heal yourself by speaking your truth, doing something that lets that pain out. Okay, let that pain out sooner rather than later, and so you can finally heal and grow and sprout your seed over here. Okay, Aquarius. A lot of energy here. So otherwise, I hope you have a good 2022. I hope this reading has helped you out. Please come back and let me know how it goes, how it progresses here, right? Because there's a lot going on for you. Let me know how your year progresses in each of these quarters, because you do have free will to change it up, right? You maybe recognize this energy right away, and then your rest of your year changes because you've done something about it. So I'd love to hear if you do. Let me know, please, in the comments down below. But Aquarius, that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. That would help me out a lot. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.